beautiful, sweet babies. It's Destined Choice, and I wanted to get on my podcast and talk about the Tiffany Richardson situation and the rumors of her being circulated of her living in dirt poor, filth, and poverty after Funky Dineva went on a horrendous rant about who Tiffany Richardson truly is.
Leave her alone. You have a bigger platform. Just leave her alone. You know what I'm saying? And that's really what I was going to do about it. I was like, you know, people who don't be in this media stuff and be out of the media for a long time, and then they get all this media attention, it does upset them and cause a whole lot of angst. Every time you do an interview, bitch, it don't even look like you got a laptop computer to do one from. It looked like you doing it from an Android phone propped up on a Popeye's box. All of the blogs are going to pick this up. And Tyra and all the rest of them are going to be somewhere clapping, because it's going to support the fact that you were a bitch. You were an imbecile, and you were never smart. I remember you being one of the kids, it took you like 4 times to pass the HSCT. That was the high school competency test. And quiet as it's kept, I had to ask around a couple times. I really don't even remember you graduating with us, if you graduated.
So let me just start from the beginning. I'm sure most of y'all know Funky Dineva. Funky Dineva pretty much is a trailblazer in the commentary world on YouTube. Is known for wearing the wig, the outlandish makeup, the drag attire, and doing love and hip hop reviews, basketball wife reviews, reality TV star reviews, and he's been on YouTube for like damn near 15 years.
It's laid like Erica Mama bitch. Did you see this last episode of Love and Hip Hop?
And, you know, although I respect his movement, I definitely don't like a lot of the shit he's done. Like, for example, if y'all didn't know, I want to say this was like 2 years ago. He threatened to slap the hell out of Tasha K, which I'm no fan of Tasha K, but let's be so for real. You're really, as a grown-ass man, about to smack a woman because she spread rumors about you?
I am telling you now, with every fiber of my being, the next time I see your balding ass, I'm going to slap the fuck out of you for the old and the new. Okay?
I mean, I'll be real. Tasha K is definitely a little problematic and a little messy, but to smack the fuck out of her is ridiculous. And he has definitely done a lot for himself in the entertainment industry in terms of appearances, TV shows, and so much more. Now, most of y'all know who Tiffany Richardson is because most of y'all know her from that infamous clip, "We Were All Rooting For You." That was a horrendous moment for her, and most of us still talk about it to this day. It's literally a big meme that a lot of us still use and talk about, and Tiffany Richardson doesn't really like the fact that she's known from that explosive moment.
Do you know that you had a possibility to win? Do you know that all of America is rooting for you? Do you know that?
She was right. The only thing that's keeping me here was my grandma and my child. And I tried to hang in there for my grandma. My grandma just wants the best for me.
Mother, I had to stop my grandmother from cussing her out numerous times. After I went on her show a couple times, I asked my grandmother not to cuss her out, but my grandmother sent her this strong letter, and I never got called back on Tyra show again. Like, you done messed up the bag. Because I used to be like, oh no, Tyra, I need babysitter money. That was for me to go on her show. I need this money, even though it still wasn't that much, girl. I think we got like 1,000 or something like that. But what made her so upset that she wanted to go off, that it just bubbled up in her so much? Like, I'm just so heated, and I was just so rooting for you. Bitch, when? Never. And it is what it is.
Tiffany, oh my God, that girl is my heart.
She really has said in the past that she'd rather have the moment die and disappear, but it's followed her for literally her entire life. She was 23 at the time, and now she's about 42 years old, and people still bring that shit up. She's never had a moment to fully process the disdain and disappointment of sabotaging an opportunity, and she's never had the moment to really process and move on because people keep bringing up something that happened to her when she was 23. Essentially, the world has froze her in time, and that's just how the world is. You know, we all have friends, family, and people you grow up with, and people who are low-key haters who freeze you in time from what they saw you as your lowest moment, and they refuse to let you grow and evolve because she hasn't ever really introduced herself. She essentially just popped up on our TVs in one moment and then disappeared. She was known for being that poor black girl who came from the hood, who came from nothing, was a single mom, teenage mom at that, and who wanted to be a model so badly, her mom's lights got cut off just so she could literally make it to the show.
I sleep at home with my baby in a twin-size bed. I was just wishing my baby, my grandmother, I really wish she could see it because she ain't got no money. She, the last time I was here, they said that I needed 2 bathing suits. And she went and she brought me bathing suits. The day before I left, I was like, well, you know, why the lights went off for them. And she was like, cuz, girl, somebody ain't getting paid because you going. My grandmother let the lights go off to buy me a bathing suit. I love her so much. I just want to show my son and my family as well that I can do better.
Just for her to sabotage the opportunity. So, fun fact, her and fucking Dineva actually went to high school together. And Funky Dineva told an interesting story recently on his live where he basically told a story where she was going to get her ass beat for talking shit, and her grandma had a whole hammer and was going to fight these girls.
But I went to high school with Tiffany Richardson. And Tiffany might get mad at me for telling it, but Tiffany had a lot of mouth in high school. She did. Tiffany had a lot of mouth. And the general consensus was Tiffany got a lot of mouth and she can't fight or whatever. Now, I'm going to give Tiffany a little credit. Even though Tiffany did have mouth, I do believe that girls were pressed over Tiffany because she was pretty. And her grandma had them pulled up. Her grandma lived right up the street. Listen, why am I telling people high school business like it even matters? Her grandma lived right up the street from the school. Her grandma had pulled up to the gas station with a hammer, and her grandma was going to get ready to whoop anybody ass with that hammer that touched her grandbaby. I know that's right.
Tiffany didn't take it so lightly. Tiffany went on a rant and she immediately commented under a blog that reposted it, and she said, so she starts off by saying, ho, stop lying. I had the hammer, bitch, and I was about to get jumped, and my grandma came and hit me in the head because I would not get in the car. I did drugs too, but you must be still on it at this point because stop the cap. How you still be at the after hours paying for dates, bitch? Still paying for boy booty is wild. Wow. So sad that this is how you want to spend your last days talking about me, ho. You've been doing it up the butt too much. Now look at you, shake my head. She went as far as even bringing up his cancer diagnosis. If y'all don't know, he has cancer. And she also went as far as to exposing the fact that he literally pays for validation from young men. If y'all didn't know, Funky Dineva was recently diagnosed with prostate cancer 3 months ago.
Sharing this information for educational purposes and not for sympathy, but I have stage 1 prostate cancer. They did 12 biopsies and 2 of them came back cancerous. 1 of them came back suspicious or inconclusive. It is very, very early. He mentioned something about a Gleason score and that mine was extremely low. So he's like, you know, it is, you caught it at the earliest of early phases, which is a good thing. He's going to send off my, I guess, blood work or biopsies to do some genetic testing on it to determine if it's a slow-growing cancer or a fast-growing cancer. So we can then begin to explore what our treatment options were. I fast-forwarded, asked him what are my treatment options. He said radiation, some experimental drugs, and surgery by robot. And I just went ahead and told him, I don't need to wait for anything to come back. Let's just go ahead and remove it, do a surgery by robot. And I have an appointment on December 8th with the robot doctor to set up surgery to get it removed.
And Funky Dineva recently came forth and was very transparent about it on his platform. And people were very, you know, open and sympathetic because cancer is not a joke, okay? A lot of us have had a relative or someone we know pass away from cancer or suffer from that shit. And people die every day from that shit. We lose a lot of people all the time from something so deadly that destroys your body over time. So for Tiffany to say that was pretty fucked up. But Funky Dineva didn't just let that pass.
Touch on what Tiffany said, and I wasn't even going to respond because quiet as it's kept, going in on Tiffany is very low-hanging fruit. It's very low-hanging fruit. I didn't even bother going and pulling any of her current pictures because that's how much grace I was trying to show somebody who looked like they've been swept in the garbage and swept into a dustpan, right? So I was like, I'm just going to leave it alone. When y'all saw me look down at my phone earlier at the top of the show, here is what happened. Somebody sent me this. So I guess she went on and said, sad that this is how you want to spend your last days talking about me, ho. You've been doing it up the butt too much. Now look at you, shaking my head back. But since you want to go there, Tiffany, let's talk about it. They getting beat up in high school or about to get beat up because you had all that goddamn mouth, and that's why them girls was about to whoop your ass down there at that damn gas station. I was finna leave you alone and let you live because you are such low-hanging fruit. Your life is the pits. Look at how you look. Like, there is nothing about the current way you look that even screams model. You look broke, you look poor, you look dusty, and talking about buying booty at the after hours, bitch, I'm rich, I could. Gag is, if you had 2 nickels to rub together, your son wouldn't have been stealing from GameStop and subsequently got killed, you broke bitch. Worrying about how anybody spending their last days, you need to be worried about how the fuck your son spent his last days when his ass got killed down to that GameStop. Second of all, you need to worry about why the hell your ass looks like death becomes her. You look dusty, you look homeless, and no wonder your ass was on that Tyra Banks thing looking so stupid when she said you're gonna go back to sleeping on a mattress with your son. Let's add a couple adjectives to that mattress. Let's add pissy, let's add crack, let's add homeless, let's add shitty, let's add drunk, all of them things. Tiffany, you still look like you sleep on a damn dirty mattress. Nobody from school knows nothing about you or where you been. It's because you probably been in and out of rehab, okay? You got big nerve to want to come. Listen, we both from the same place, so you should have known I was going to take this shit from hell.
I want to meet Jabarcus so bad.
Dusty looking ass. What I said did not warrant what all you did, and you still going talking about somebody want to spend their last days talking about you. Tiffany, you finna get more press from me going in on you than you have ever in your damn lifetime. And I don't want to hear no shit about, oh, he don't went too far. Son, fuck her son, fuck her. You didn't have to do what you did. It was not that real, Tiffany. Me and you ain't never had no beef. And the sad part is you the same weak ass hoe that you was when we went to school. You always had mouth, could never back it up. And if it wasn't for real, you wouldn't have had shit because your mama, her name Kitty. Kitty couldn't do nothing with you. Kitty ain't have shit.
My God.
That's why she had to send you around your damn grandma's house for your grandma to take care of you. And your grandma couldn't do shit with you either. You always been dumb. You always been mouthy. You the only bitch from Miami that had the opportunity that somebody did, landed on top model twice and still didn't know what to do with it. Look like a 27th Avenue, 79th Street streetwalker, $40 a night Okeechobee Motel prostitute. And you got the nerve to come for a bitch like me and worrying about what I'm doing in my last days. What is you doing with your last $2? Because from the looks of things, you look like you down to your last $2. You amounted to nothing. You literally had the world handed to you on a silver platter and you amounted to nothing. So much so that that nothingness passed down to your children. And look what happened to them. Just a whole lineage of nothingness. Okay, you got the right one when you got me. I am pretty sure from high school, you remember how lethal my mouth is.
He basically suggested that she's dirty, she's poor, she's on drugs, she's a dope fiend, her parents ain't shit. She also talked about how her child was out here stealing from GameStop and a bunch more stuff that he knew because, again, they're from the same city, they're from Miami. So people talk, especially when you're from the same city. And I would say that he was completely justified in going in on her and dragging her because to talk about somebody's illness, something that they can't change, it must have really struck a chord when someone must have talked about you from the past. And let me just say that this is just a brief example of why she's not able to fully move on and why she really hit a low blow like that. She hit a low blow like that because she was angry as fuck at him for bringing up who she used to be because the world constantly does it. Tiffany Richardson is constantly doing interviews ever since this America's Next Top Model documentary has came out. You're seeing her face a lot more. And even before the documentary come out, you were still seeing her face. You know, 3-4 years ago, she was doing interviews talking about the whole situation, talking about what happened to her, and people still bring this up to this day. I feel like the meme kind of went viral in like 2010, and ever since then, it's just been picking up. So every few years, the meme just explodes, it goes viral, people talk about it in music videos, people recreate it, and it's almost like no one can ever truly escape it. And she can't either. So it follows her, and people have froze her in time and limited her to that moment, and she has not been able to reintroduce herself. And what's interesting is this is, of all the times she has mentioned that she has an adult daycare.
I own a adult daycare for special needs adults too. So yeah, that's my life now. We take them like on field trips, or in studio for them. It's a lot, but I love what I do.
Nobody fucking knows. This is the problem. Tiffany Richardson is low-key resentful of the fact that she didn't capitalize off of her pain and her trauma. She's disappointed that everybody's able to constantly make videos and content about what the hell she went through in her life, and it makes her have a resentment towards people that are able to constantly use her name and talk about her and get millions of views. Imagine some shit you did over 20 years ago being filmed, recorded, and going viral, and people always bring it up when they see or hear about you. What's interesting is she has to relive it every single time it goes viral and somebody parodies it. And it's disappointing because she had a very bad falling out with Tyra, because even after the show, she made it clear that Tyra was like catching up with her, checking in on her, saying, "Hey, how are you, honey?"
Before the show started, before the whole I think it was a 6 or 7 episode came out, Tyra used to literally call my mom, not my mom, my grandmother's house, because I was at my grandmother's house. She used to call and, you know, try to act like she's checking up on me. Oh, hey, girl, you know, I'm just calling to check up on you. You know, the episode's going to be coming out. I just want you to be prepared, and we'll do it the whoop. And I'm like, okay, you know, the first couple times I talked to her, but then it started getting like, I was over it. My grandmother sent her this strong letter, and I never got called back on Tyra shit again.
I went and picked up my little boy, and I went home, and I just felt like I was dying, like I couldn't go no more. And my little boy, he asked me, he was like, "Mommy, are you okay?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I'm okay." He's like, "Are you dying?" I'm like, "No, Mommy's okay." So after that, my mom, my grandmother, my pastor, Jackson, and when I came back for the second show, they told me it was like anger management. Anger management didn't do it for me.
We put you through anger management.
But it didn't do it for me. Because she kept telling me, "You're angry." I'm like, "No, I'm not." And it made me angry that she was telling me that I was angry. But my mom and my grandmother and you guys, when I came on for the second time, it changed me.
Well, it's interesting because people were wondering, why was Tyra going so crazy when she was doing that to Tiffany? And it's because I knew about the story with the ecstasy and the baby, and I knew a whole bunch of other stuff that we didn't show on television. So thank you for telling everybody.
Y'all hear that? Y'all see what Tyra just said? So thank you for telling everybody. She went into detail and she paraphrased it so the viewers would know. Oh, the ecstasy and the baby and all that stuff. And thank you for telling everybody. She's so manipulative. She's just making it very clear, like, see, my crash out was justified. Tiffany had it coming. So those are the things that Tiffany felt a way about. Felt like her story was constantly exploited. And Tyra just is trying to portray herself as the martyr, the savior that tried to help this person who didn't want the help.
Sacrifices were worth it. Because of the show, because of you. She's mentoring, and I mean, she's making a big difference.
So I mentored you, and now you're passing it down. Nice change. Up next, my top model Tyra hit the streets of New York City for an emotional surprise.
Tyra literally says, "See, I mentored you, and now you can pass it down." She's so manipulative. She's such a mean girl. She literally just trying to frame herself as a martyr to prevent herself from getting heat back then and then getting heat now. It's little stuff like that that makes me cringe when I watch the Tyra show again, because back then a lot of us just didn't pick up on these things. But then when you really look at it and you hear Tiffany's perspective, she was just young and dumb, happy to be associated, and was okay with being used. And Tyra definitely sent this girl some babysitting money, as she said. And I think Tiffany felt like she had to act on cue and, you know, make Tyra look good and feel good. But looking back, Tyra definitely was doing something odd. And Tiffany sees it now. And that's why Tiffany's resentful that she can't peacefully move on, because she constantly has to relive that she allowed herself to be used. Imagine somebody replaying all your people-pleasing and extra nice, extra accommodating and crash out moments, and you have to constantly relive it, and you have to constantly relive somebody trying to portray themselves as a martyr. She didn't capitalize, so now people are able to eat off of her. Tyra capitalized off of her, and if anything, Tyra milked her. She has a resentment and a dislike to Tyra because if y'all didn't know, after the show, she actually stayed in contact with Tyra, and Tyra was essentially using her, keeping her, you know, on the back burner and always tapping in with her and checking in on her. But Tiffany said it never really felt genuine. It just felt forced and like a fake little checkup. Tiffany Richardson needs to get a grip on reality and understand that the internet doesn't necessarily age people. It freezes people in time, and it's all based on how you reintroduce yourself. Like, how many times do people still tag me in fucking videos when I was fat as a fucking whale?
Hi, my loves. It's CHANGE.TROYCE, and you're watching Choice. Hi, my loves. It's CHANGE.TROYCE.
and still doing those videos where I was like eating whatever the fuck I wanted. It wasn't as health conscious as I am now. That is what it is. People are going to talk about that because that's how a lot of people met me. That's how a lot of my viral videos were. Like me looking heavy as hell, being heavy set. And that's just the way the world works. Look at someone like Bad Baby. Bad Baby, no matter how or what she does, she'll always be known as that girl that disrespected her mom. That's what she'll always be known for. And yet, Bad Baby has done so much stuff. She's reintroduced herself and she's given people other stuff to focus on. She has had a successful music career. She has a platinum record. She has 2 gold records. This girl has a successful diss track. She was literally nominated for Best Female Rapper alongside Nicki Minaj and Cardi B at fucking 15 years old. And she pivoted what people focus on. And that's what Tiffany needs to do. Why are you so disdain or so upset about when people address you and tell stories about you and talk about you? Let it fucking go and heal. She is the problem, and she does nothing but prove people's points when she does interviews about the fact that people try to defend Tyra and stick up for Tyra. She's really resentful that Tyra was able to make millions of dollars and then even capitalize off her image, because if y'all didn't know, Tyra made a whole fucking game and created a whole fucking app with all her catchphrases, including the one where she grilled Tiffany.
Guess what launched today? Bam! In the Apple Store, Tie Emoji by Tyra Banks. These are stickers that are so fun. Look at this. I mean, I was rooting for you. We were all rooting for you stickers. I got like stickers that are like spilling tea, honey. Did you see her whack post last night? Oh yes, honey, spill the tea.
Tyra is still able to capitalize off the Tiffany Richardson situation, and Tiffany does not like that. So when people try to capitalize off of her name, it reminds her of what Tyra did and how her younger self didn't have the strength to stick up for herself and say, Tyra, go to hell, when she still kept in contact with Tyra. But like I said, that's just my thoughts and opinions about the whole situation. And I hope people can resonate and see where I'm coming from. Let me know what you guys think. Hope you guys enjoyed this podcast. And yeah, that's that. Timeout is over.